All right, everyone. This is Ola TV. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this edition, we're going to be talking about the scandal that happened last night. I actually did not watch the Oscars, aka the Academy Awards. However, I did get contacted regarding this situation that happened. Not a situation ship, but definitely a situation. So we are going to go ahead and get into it in just a moment. Here we go. All right, you guys. This is Ola here with Ola TV, and in this edition, we're going to be doing something a little bit differently, talking about a little bit of drama that occurred last night, apparently at the Oscars, aka the Academy Awards. So I did not know this information. I found out today because I actually was receiving text messages and direct messages regarding this topic. A very interesting situation developed yesterday. It seems that Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock at last night's award ceremony. Something that may have seemed either very uncharacteristic like of Will Smith, but I think it's a lot of pent up emotion and frustration with everything that's been going on with his wife, his family, etc. And so that's the topic that we're going to discuss today. I actually created a small clip here. It is going to show you guys the actual slap in just a moment. It's going to be the uncensored version as well. This is the uncensored version. It'll show the what led up to it, the first 30 seconds. Then it's going to show the actual situation that occurred, and then the antagonizing remarks from Will Smith from his chair after he commits the slap. So let's go ahead and see if this clip that I created for you guys, that I put a compilation of here. Let's see if this one actually will play for you. And also, I have the reactions because there are a lot of celebrities who posted on Twitter some reactions. So I do have the reactions at the end of this clip as well. Let's go ahead and get this started. Let's put this on this.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Oh, man. Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. In this time in my life, in this moment, I am
overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the two actresses that played Venus and Serena. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. And I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
Look at these reactions. Was that scripted? Just saw the Will Smith slap. Anyone have a late night show I can borrow just for tomorrow? Crazy. And as far as that incident goes, I am still processing. I have a second hand embarrassment for all involved. Never thought the La La Land debacle would ever be eclipsed, but here we are. Let me tell you something. It's a very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically assault a comedian. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters. You should never go to a place where we sit and watch a movie star hit someone on global television and moments later get a standing ovation. Violence isn't okay. Assault is never the answer. This is the second time that Chris has made fun of Jade at the Oscars. And tonight, it looks like he went after the alopecia, and punching down at someone's autoimmune disease is wrong. Jake Paul says we should put 15 mil for Will Smith and 15 mil for Chris. Ready to go. Robert Neer says owes Chris Rock a huge apology. There's no excuse for what he did. He's lucky Chris is not filing assault charges. And Jaden seems to be in support of the slap. From what I saw, Jaden himself posted. Looks like the screenshot I had of it went too quickly, but Jaden says something like, "That's how our
Denzel
family
said to me
does it
a
or
few
handles
minutes
it."
ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
And Chris, we're gonna solve that like family at the goal party, okay?
All right, guys. So you've seen the clip there. What are your thoughts? My thoughts on this is that for one, I took a couple notes on this because I thought this was an interesting situation. If you guys just tuned in and you missed the slap, it was earlier in the video. So if you missed it, go ahead and just rewind. Or if you are on a platform that doesn't let you rewind, you can catch the recap because this will automatically save on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. But yeah, guys, my final thoughts on this is that a couple of interesting, uh, ironic or oxymoronic statements stated by Will Smith is that he says, um, he's being called for to love people, to protect people, and he says that in basically in that process, you're going to be taking abuse, or he says something about people are going to disrespect you. He says something about people are going to talk crazy about you, and then he also, with a closing statement, says um, that he spoke to Denzel Washington, and that when you're reaching your highest moment, the devil is going to come for you. So I've got a couple of issues with that statement, or statements, I should say. The first thing is, if you're trying to love people, does smacking someone in the face on live television where everyone is watching, does that show love towards your friend? Because last time I checked, Chris Rock was a good friend of yours. Unless something has changed that the world is unaware of, most people understand that these two individuals are friends, Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now the next thing is, he says he feels like his purpose is to protect people, more so specifically his people. The last time I checked, um, I don't know if you're referring to race, family, etc. But last time I checked, when someone is your really good friend, they're kind of like your family, when you've known them for a long time, for the period that you've known Chris Rock. So if you're trying to protect your people, and you mean in the family sense, this is not a form of protection. This is actually a form of, you know, assault. And this is a form of doing the opposite of protecting your people, protecting your family, protecting your friends, etc. If that's what he's indicating as far as protecting your people. Now, if you're referring to the sense of protecting your people, as in like your racial culture, like black people, which he could be meaning that as well, if that's what he meant, Chris Rock himself falls into that category again, where he would be one of the people that you would be protecting, or you should be protecting, because Chris Rock is a black man, just like you're a black man. So the both of you come from the same background, same race. The both of you are consider each other like family and friends. So in that regard, I don't see you protecting your own people when you are talking about your race, because before that he had transitioned, before he transitioned into saying that, he was talking about the two female actresses that starred in that particular movie, and they both happen to be black. If I'm not mistaken, they're both black actresses, uh, and they both were playing the roles of Venus and Serena in the movie. And I believe in that movie, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't watch it, but I think Will Smith is in the movie as well. I think, and I don't know if he's one of the producers behind the movie as well, but nonetheless, the whole point is that you said that you wanted to protect, basically giving a voice for your people. That's two black women, and then and Chris Rock is a black man, and Will Smith is a black man. So you guys are a part of the same race, the same culture, the same background. So you're willing to protect and serve, or be a service to the two women. But then when it comes to your brother here, your friend, and if I'm not mistaken, I think these guys have known each other, beyond what, a decade, possibly. I think maybe even more than that. Who knows? 2 decades, probably. So if you're trying to protect your people, this is not the way to show it with the actions that you've committed towards Chris Rock. If you're trying to show love, this is not the way to show love either. And then to comment on the fact that he says you've got to take abuse, I'm not sure exactly what abuse he's referring to exactly. I don't know if he means abuse from the social media, abuse from the general public, abuse from uh, comments, from either trolls or haters, or just people in general, basically making statements regarding the situationship or entanglement nonsense that Jada Pinkett had, with that other guy that was a part of the mix. That apparently Will didn't know that situationship was going on when it occurred. So I think this is all a buildup from that. And then he says that people are disrespecting him, which no one was disrespecting him here. This was all jokes. This is a stand-up comedian, a professional comedian. It's not like he's a new comedian that, for one, he doesn't know his boundaries, and for two, that he isn't your friend. So it's a guy that's been in the game for decades. It's a friend of yours. And also, even if it was a new comedian, even if it was stand up, from someone fresh onto the platform of comedy, you have to take into account comedy is comedy. And so no matter what you say in comedy, it's bound to either hurt someone, impact someone, affect someone, anger someone, sadden someone, make someone depressed, make someone disturbed, etc. So, there's really no way in comedy to not aggravate or offend someone. Someone is going to take, if you make, maybe you make a joke about someone's weight, whether they're too skinny or they're too fat. You make a joke about someone's height, too tall, too short, someone's race, someone's background, someone with like maybe a disability, etc. Regardless of what it is comedy, and it's bound to disturb someone. But the fact that Will Smith took it to the next level and just decided to go ahead and say, "All right, I'm going to get on stage, in a public atmosphere, thousands, if not tens of thousands of people in the audience, and then you have millions of people that are watching from home, and you just smack this guy in front of everybody." And the thing is, Chris Rock, even though he's no longer with his spouse, he still has kids. He still sees his kids. He's still a part of their life. A situation like this, you're essentially, um you're embarrassing him, especially if his kids are watching. Most of the time when comedians have, children, even if they're of younger age, most of the time the children will tap in and see their content on TV, because they look as their dad as, a role model, a hero, someone to aspire to be, or at least, respect them. And when you go and smack someone in the you when you, as Will Smith, goes and smacks Chris Rock in the face, what do you think Chris Rock's children are thinking? Or if he has a current girlfriend, or let's say if he was still married, what his spouse or ex-spouse are thinking of that particular given situation, like, or his family members, brothers, sisters, moms, etc. Anyone in his family circle tree, you got to think about that. You're doing this to a person to release your anger, but at the same time, you're impacting not only the viewers, but you're impacting those that are closely related to this person, who are his blood, and you don't see the repercussions to it. The other thing is that he says something about, he tried to say that Denzel Washington told him that when you're at your highest hour, the devil tries to come for you. First of all, I don't know if that's true. The reason why I say that's because when he made the statement, they showed the close up of the face of Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington, like, how when people usually they know that their face is on camera, or someone is saying someone about them on stage, they usually nod their head, shake their head yes, or nod their head no, or sideways, or whatever. At that point in time, when they showed Denzel Washington, he had no reaction. He was very serious, very stern, almost looked very disappointed that Will Smith is making this statement. I don't know if it's because of lack of privacy, because he's mainly, told him that one on one, and this guy expressed it publicly, or maybe it's a lie, or maybe he didn't really say that to Will Smith, and Will Smith is just trying to use a cop out or an scapegoat by using the devil as a reason for his bad actions, and then also for using, and then trying to use Denzel Washington, who is a reputable, respectable actor, and person, and just individual in general, probably trying to escape, use him as an scapegoat, and use his acceptance of the situation to, be excused. Unfortunately, whether Denzel Washington did state that or not, um, it's still not acceptable, and Chris Rock should definitely press charges. They're saying that more than likely he's not going to, but they should. Another thing is that people are saying that maybe the joke about Jada Pinkett's, alopecia issue maybe was a low blow, etc. Listen, again, going back to what I said, comedy's comedy, and people are going to do what they're going to do. People are going to say what they're going to say. And if you are not there to enjoy the comedy, you're welcome to leave. No one told them they had to stay at the show. They could have left. That was their choice to stay there. But it is not your right to go and say, I'm going to get on stage and then just slap somebody, with no remorse. And the other thing is that at the very end, they asked, what he thought about it, and he was in tears. And then they asked him at a, I think it was an after show interview. He apologized to the Oscars and the Academy Awards, but and then of course the people that run it behind the scenes, etc. He apologized to, like, the industry, the organization, the awards, owners, directors, etc. But he never apologized to Chris Rock, which I found very interesting, because if you were remorseful, you could at least try to, say that you wished you wouldn't have done that, or you could have at least faked it for the opportunity to at least, you know, um, to recover, some part of your image. he didn't even give two F's about that. So he didn't even bother to even fake apology. Some people will do a fake apology. Not that I'm saying that a fake apology would have done anything, but it's weird because he didn't even apologize after the show. He apologized to the Oscars, and that was it. But he didn't apologize for his actions to Chris Rock, and he didn't apologize to Chris Rock when they asked him, what did he feel about the given situation of how he handled that. So for me, guys, I gotta say, um, very disappointed in Will. Very disgraceful actions. Definitely not a supporter of what he's done. And to be honest, I think that all the frustration that he has with his wife cheating on him, and having the situationship, that's what caused the outburst. So I think that's pretty much what this boils down to, is the fact that because he can't handle the situation with his wife, he's not over it. This pretty much just spilled out, onto Chris Rock's face. Pause, no pun intended. And Will Smith doesn't seem to have any real empathy or any shame in his actions because, again, he just did not apologize for the situation and he just kept it at that. So the memes are out there going crazy. As you can see on the screen, I created my own thumbnail and meme for this given video. So the situation that occurs not funny, but just creating a meme about what happened, just to lighten the mood a bit. And I know a lot of people have posted many of them. As a closing statement as well, um, I wanted to say that there was a lot of people that dropped comments into a lot of the videos, and some of the comments were actually pretty interesting. I don't have them available because there's just too many comments, but I have them on my cell phone, and I'll definitely look into one of them. One of them was kind of like a joke. It says there can be 100 people in the room, and 99 won't slap you, but one will, meaning Will Smith would do it. So uh, that was dropped on one of the videos for someone else's regarding this topic. Another person said, "Will, your anger is misdirected. Get that woman out of your life. Such a shame because he deserves the Oscar, and now it is overshadowed." And I agree. I think that no one is going to remember the fact that he won the award. They're not going to remember what he was nominated for. They're only going to remember the fact that he slap someone in the face, a good friend of his, a comedian who's just doing his job, and he showed no remorse at the end of the show. So they'll remember that as well. The lack of accountability, lack of acknowledgement of the action, and the lack of the apology. So you have all of that lacking. Um, let's see. Let me see if there's any other interesting comments. Someone said disgraceful behavior by Will Smith. Um, and then it says, and then he received a standing ovation. I'm stunned, which I agree. He when he was called up for the award later on in the evening, and this was after the fact he had already slapped Chris Rock. When he was called up, basically from there he got a standing ovation, and also other people that went up to speak. Some of them tried to cover it up. I forgot what was the name of one of the really famous old actors, but he went up there to say, yeah, Will Smith wrapped it up by saying, we should do love and peace. Unfortunately, man, he never gave Chris Rock an apology. All he did was make excuses about his actions, and all he did was basically try to use other people in references so that it could seem like he was being apologetic, but he actually really wasn't. So for me, guys, I'm gonna end it with that. But that's my final thoughts. I think it's disgraceful, disrespectful not only to Chris Rock but to the viewers, the fans, the followers, and most importantly, the family members of Chris Rock. His children are probably watching, and to see your dad get slapped in the face like that by another person, especially from the same culture, same background, and both guys, in their own regards, make fun of other people. So I don't understand why Will Smith would have taken this to the next level. But again, I do understand because all the pain and suffering he's going through with his wife, he still obviously has not healed from it. And for me, you're defending a woman who, in my opinion, guys, is absolute trash. Um, she did what she did, and this is not to take sides of taking the side of the guy over the female. It just is what it is. Like, she shouldn't have done what she did. He's choosing to stay with her. So if you're choosing to stay with her, you've also got to you're also choosing to go down the path where you're going to have to accept all the pain and suffering that comes along with sticking with the person who cheated on you. That's just what it is, cold hard facts. So her actions of what she did is not excusable, but at the same time, you accepting her, you've got to take the heat, man. You got to take the dirt. You've got to take, you got to roll with the punches. If someone's gonna make a joke about you, that's gonna be for life. But at the same token, you going on stage and slapping someone unwarranted and unnecessarily like that, that's also going to be out there in the public for life in social media. Because as you know, the internet is undefeated. The internet never forgets, and the internet always makes memes about stuff like this, and the internet always, finds a way to revive these situations. So no matter how many apologies he may do in the future, which at the moment he hasn't apologized at all. But regardless of the fact whether he does or doesn't, the big picture is that this will always be in social media, not only tainting Will Smith's good guy image, but also tainting Chris Rock's image as being a guy who is usually respected by, if not all, by many in the industry, not just as a comedian, but just as a person and an individual. So, I mean, this situation just for me is bizarre. The Kanye West thing, I think, just got superseded by this one when he was always doing his antics. That's a different story though. But yeah, I mean these situations where people are just doing outbursts at awards, it's not cool. The Kanye West one with the Taylor Swift situation, that wasn't cool either. You know what I'm saying? You're cutting someone off who won an award, not allowing them to get it, whether you respect the decision or not of that person winning or what they're saying. You still do not have the right to embarrass someone just because you disagree with what is being said or what is being done on stage. So again, you have your option to leave if you're not happy. But taking it back to this one, the assault was not cool. I watched the video at least 10 or 12 different times, and honestly, every time I watch it, I just kind of cringe a little bit more with the situation. So, if you guys missed it, guys, I have the recap. I already showed it. Rewind this or watch the recap because I'm about to end the broadcast. I just wanted to play the video first. Also, play the reactions of the Twitter tweets that were submitted by these celebrities on their separate accounts. So I showed some of those, and then at the end of this video, I decided to talk about what exactly happened. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to show you guys again, for those who are new to the platform, the social media, so that you can follow me on all the platforms. But tell me what you think about this situation. Do you agree or disagree with what happened? Do you think that Chris Rock was wrong in what he, stated in his joke? Do you think it was a low blow? Do you think that Will Smith's reaction was overboard? Do you think it was uh, the right amount of reaction? Do you think he should have walked out? Do you think he should have just did what he did when he was shouting and cursing at Chris Rock, where he was saying, "Take my wife's name out your effing mouth"? Do you think that that should have been the initial reaction? I think he should have just did that. He should have just, if you felt that harsh about it, instead of committing assault and possibly having the police involved, what you could have did was you could have just shouted from your chair, just like you did. Because what he did was he slapped this dude and then he walked off, and then after that he cursed him out twice from his chair. You could have did that from the beginning, but the fact that you slapped him and then you did that made you look like a bigger asshole. And the fact that you cursed him out twice, even after he's trying to, like, he's trying to erase what happened and mentally and continue with the show, and he's trying to transition to move forward, to whatever his next set of jokes will be, or whatever the next part of the show is that he's gonna, speak in regards to. And this guy just starts cursing him out from the chair and antagonizing him. So it was bad enough with the slap. Then you start antagonizing him and instigating the situation even more from from where you're sitting. And for me, that made him, look like an even bigger asshole times two, because you've already done the physical embarrassment. Now you're trying to add, like a mental, emotional, or verbal embarrassment. And then later on, you talk about that you be receiving abuse, or you start talking about things about abuse, but you're here trying to physically abuse someone who is your friend, and then verbally abuse them as well. So, with that being said, that's all I have to say. That's my final thoughts on the situation. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And do you agree or disagree with anything that I spoke on in this video? Here we go, guys. And here is close out the show with the social media platforms and channels. In case that you aren't already following me, you can go ahead and do so on all the channels and all the platforms. Here we go. All right, guys. So that is, there. Excuse me. That is my platforms and channels. In case if you don't already know, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for future videos. I appreciate your time and your patience. And by the way, guys, I am planning somewhere down the line to be able to possibly start doing a third Twitch account. But the third Twitch account is going to be a little differently and maybe exclusively only for video gaming content. I do want to make a platform with that. So if you're interested in watching me play video games. I'm gonna start, possibly investing in like PC games, just to be able to do something more fun. And it's gonna be probably with a different Twitch. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna make a third one or maybe just post it on the two Twitches that I already have active, which are the best guy in the biz and Ola TV official. So we'll see how that goes, guys. But thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys have a great start of your week. Happy Monday, and make sure you guys stay safe. And let's just learn from this situation. We don't always have to take physical action to be able to resolve the issue. Sometimes you can just walk away or speak your opinion and keep it moving. But and I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. And I know in the past I've lost my cool, but to do it like on this kind of a platform and with that kind of level of status in the celebrity world and in the industry, yeah, this is super uncalled for. Not that it would be excusable at any other time, but this just, this is like the worst situation that you can do it. Do this on the worst, possible night, on this type of platform. So you guys stay safe. Happy Monday. Stay tuned for any upcoming videos, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.